Hello, and welcome back to The Subtext with me, Savannah, your host of The Subtext. Hi. Hey. All right, let's get into it. I'm talking about Nosferatu. You must bounce on it. Crazy style. Get into it. Hey, I know I'm late to the party. Get away from me. Let's talk about it. So I'm a big, huge, ginormous Bill Skarsgard fan. So I had to watch it. I don't like scary movies. But I watched this and I thought it was going to be really scary. It wasn't that scary. Not a lot of jump scares, but it was definitely creepy. I love the cast. Bill Skarsgard, I just said that, okay? I know he's a Nepo baby, but he's my Nepo baby. And then, of course, Lily Rose Depp and Nicholas Hoult. And Aaron Taylor Johnson? I think that's the guy. Yeah, the other one. Oh my god, I love them. Everyone did such an amazing job in this movie, and it kind of scared me. Like, everyone was, like, perfectly unsettling, except for Thomas. He's fine. He's literally fine. He does nothing wrong. Well, I mean, he sold his wife, but, like, what are you gonna do? We're huge. Come on. We don't make mistakes. So I really did enjoy Nosferatu. I'm a big fan of like gothic stuff. So this was just a treat for me. It was a treat. It was wonderful. And I think it did a really good job of like doing like a love versus obsession sort of like storytelling. I'm always a big fan of that, especially like I see it in Phantom of the Opera too, which Phantom of the Opera, we're gonna get into it in a second. We're gonna get to it. Hold on. I can't, I gotta hold it in. Phantom of the Opera is speaking to me like the Green Goblin mask. No, not yet! Not yet! Okay, Nosferatu. The first time I watched it, I was too focused on, like, all the hot people in the movie. And I know he's bald and ugly and has dirty fingernails, and he's, like... I love him. I was Count Orlok for Halloween, and I slayed that. Trust. I was eating it up. And I love his look and his design. Like, it's just so good, bro. It's just so good. And Bill Skarsgård absolutely nailed. Like, I don't know how he did that voice, and I'm really jealous. Because if I could do that voice, like how he does it, and do it, like, constantly, I'd be annoying. I'd be annoying as heck, bro. I'd be more annoying than I am right now, dude. Every day. I'd greet you with you. Hey, like I'd be so annoying. I want his voice. I just need it. But I understand the character himself a bit problematic. Okay, now Count Orlok serves as like an embodiment of like abusive relationships and trauma. And you see that clearly. He kind of acts as like this false savior to Ellen when she's suffering and she calls out in prayer and this mystical being like answers her. And I think that that's such an accurate representation of like the mindset that we get into. That's not collectively. I mean, everyone's different, but like that some people get into when they're in a vulnerable like moment, and when they're like grieving, especially like when you're grieving, when you're lonely, you fall into this very vulnerable state. And that's when people will come into your life acting as a savior, and they will actually be there as something terrible. I mean, like literally, like that's what cult recruiters do. Is they will literally target people who are vulnerable, like a person who's young and impressionable, or has just moved to a new place and has no like no support system or anything. Like that's when people get you. and they will act as a false savior, and then you fall for it. Boom. Boom. Now all of a sudden you got 3 days or else a plague upon all your loved ones, and they all die. So figure it out. But I think that was a really good example of how it starts. Being in a desperate, grieving, lonely moment, a vulnerable moment, and then you get to Count Orlok. I thought it was really, really amazing. And going back to the love versus obsession thing, I love that Ellen and Thomas are not displayed as something perfect. Like, they are clearly very flawed. You know, they're definitely codependent. Thomas wants to be a provider so bad. Like, so bad. He wants to be a provider. He's like, no, I'm going to get us a house and don't worry, we're going to have everything. And she's like, I don't care. I don't care. You can be here with me, frick. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Hold on, girl. It's okay. They're definitely codependent and they're not perfect. They are flawed individuals and they have a flawed relationship, but what they do have for each other is true love, which is different from what Count Orlok has, which is obsession and like a desire to use Ellen. Exactly. Okay. And it goes, oh my gosh. I feel like it mirrors Phantom of the Opera so bad. And I need Bill Skarsgård in a Phantom of the Opera version. Oh my gosh. I love Bill Skarsgård. I'm sorry. What do you want me to do? He played the Marquis in John Wick Chapter 4. And if you're not into John Wick, get into it. I'm so serious. Get into it. John Wick. Especially Chapter 4. Best one. We'll talk about it later. I don't but Bill Skarsgård is like it like in a fancy, like he's like this rich French guy. And he's wearing a suit. And I was like, oh, I didn't recognize I didn't see the vision at first. I didn't recognize your game. Hold on, put him in a suit. He's actually not a freak. Because something about Bill Skarsgård is he's a really good character actor. And so they're like, oh, well, we need a freak. Who are we going to cast? Bill Skarsgård, obviously. Pennywise. And speaking of Pennywise, I've just recently started watching Welcome to Derry. Have I seen it 2017 and the other one? No. And I'm not gonna. I'm actually gonna watch, hey, and the show's a prequel, so I can do whatever I want. And then I'll go and I'll watch the other ones. But okay, I actually need to get into it. I need to lock in because I know that all the Stephen King stuff is sort of connected. Like, I know that Welcome to Derry is somehow connected, like, in the same universe as The Shining. And The Shining is, like, with, like, Dr. Sleep, and it's all whatever, okay? It's great. But I need to get into it. I don't know. I'm a fake fan. And I'll say that with, I don't care that I'm a fake fan. Listen, I was very transparent about what brought me here, and it's Bill Skarsgård. But I actually do need to see him in a Phantom of the Opera, which Guillermo del Toro was talking about. He would love to make one. Get on it. Okay, and back to gothic media. Okay, so we have Nosferatu in 2024, Nosferatu 2024, and now we have Frankenstein by Guillermo del Toro. Banger. Jacob Elordi, Oscar Isaac, Mia Goth. I don't know. Hey, I don't know. I don't know. Incredible. I love it. I love that gothic stuff, and I love just like the dramatic. Oh, okay, I'm going crazy, but genuinely, Guillermo, God's work. Thank you. And now we're getting Werewolf, and then maybe we'll get a Phantom of the Opera. Please. I swear I'll give up my soul if you make Bill Skarsgård Eric. I swear. Please just do it. Just do it. Please for me. Please. I need it, actually. Like, seriously. I love Phantom of the Opera so bad. Another good example of, like, love versus obsession, okay? You have Raoul, who's the childhood sweetheart, and he knows her, and he's like, dude, come on, like, marry me, come on. Like, he's there, I guess, you know? And then Phantom is like, Eric, he's like, yeah, I have a wax figure of you in the basement in a wedding dress. What's wrong with it? Aren't I romantic? And then he woos her with a little song. Music of the night. Yeah. What a great cast also. Gerard Butler. Emmy Rossum, I think is her name. And Patrick Wilson. Patrick Wilson's there too, I guess. And then he went and he did the Insidious movies. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know. He was a little sweetheart in the Phantom of the Opera, and then he was like, okay, well, I'm going to go hunt ghosts now. I dealt with one phantom, now I'm going to deal with another kind. Good for you. For you, bro. One thing about Phantom, though, is I think... Now, I don't know if this is confirmed. I have not read the book, Phantom of the Opera. Le Fantôme de l'Opéra. I don't know. I haven't read it. Do I have the book? Yeah. I'm going to get to it. Don't worry, bro. Stop peer pressuring me. I'll get to it eventually. I have a big book from Barnes & Noble that's like gothic literature and Phantom of the Opera's in there. I'm going to read it. Don't worry. I'm going to read it. Gaston Leroux, I'm going to read it. Don't worry, dude. You're on the list. So I don't know if there's stuff that I'm missing from there, but Madame, like the teacher for Christine, low-key shady because she knew what was going on the whole time. She knew that there was grooming going on. She knew that that there was some dude in the sewer basement, whatever that is. She knew, and she didn't say anything. And then she had to have known about him being obsessed with Christine, and she was like, yeah, she's all yours, I guess. And I feel like she did that to like protect her own daughter, her biological daughter. Hey, what the heck? You're just gonna let this guy like groom and like, okay. It's whatever you want. It's whatever you want, I guess. I don't know. That was kind of shady though. I don't know. Like when I first was watching Phantom of the Opera, I was like, no, she's the best character because she was helping out the Phantom. I mean, not really. Not really. You let him out of a cage and now he's living in the basement and you're letting him groom your adopted daughter. I don't know. I need to be on Broadway so bad. That's not even a joke. It's not a joke. I need to be on Broadway today, now. I can do it. Me with minimal theater experience and I don't know. I'm not going to say I have no talent, okay? Because I could be a mean Carlotta. And yeah, I would want to be Carlotta because listen, as much as I would love to be a Christine Daae, I know it's not in the cards for me. I'm not a Christine, okay? I'm not a Christine. I can't be like, Father once spoke of an angel. I can't do that. You know what I can do? Oh, you're not trying to have that little ingenue. Yeah, I can do that. I can play Carlotta. Also, I love that. There was a guy on TikTok who imitated that just like how I did. And that's a crazy. Oh, you not try to have your little ingenue. Signora, no. The world wants you. What? I would love to. That's a slept on song for Phantom of the Opera. I'm so serious. Prima Donna is one of the most slept on songs because it gets overshadowed by Christine's forget what, Think of Me? Boring! Who cares? And everyone's acting like Carlotta sucks in the freaking movie 2004. The maids or whatever are listening to her in rehearsal and they're like putting cotton in theirs. Oh gosh, she sucks, dude. What are we talking about? I want to see you guys get your ass on the stage and try to do what Carlotta does. You can't. You can't. And how they treated Carlotta was really rude. I know she was a diva, but she was talented and she was bringing it in. And then she got sabotaged and put into the silent role. So rude. My girl Carlotta deserved better. Everyone deserved better, okay? Even Eric, okay? He didn't deserve to be laughed at and mocked. Gosh. Especially because it's still Gerard Butler. It's still Gerard Butler under there. You know damn well he lift up his mask and be real. Still hit that. I still hit that. Wait, just put some concealer on it. You're fine. We got stage makeup up in the dressing room. Come on. We're going to cover it up. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it. You're not that ugly, actually. Actually quite good. Your singing voice is quite nice. How would you like a job? Also, I love the managers in the movie. They're just so silly. There are so many moments in that movie that are just like, my most prominent memories of the movie when I haven't watched it in a while are of the managers, just because they're so silly. Surely there's an understudy. Understudy. There is no understudy for Carlotta. Are you kidding me? That's so iconic. Get into it. You guys are... Back to, like, gothic, like, romantic gothic stuff. I also love, like, Regency era stuff. And, like, to me, in my mind, those can sort of go hand in hand. Even though they don't. I don't know. But I really do love Regency era stuff. It's kind of the reason why I also love, like, the Bridgerton, aesthetic. But that's definitely not gothic. That's, like, definitely, like, pastels and, like, springy, like... I don't know. Sometimes when I watch Bridgerton, I feel really stupid. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna put on my stupid little show about wards and waities. Yep. I just feel so dumb. Not that it reminds me of it, but I watched the Napoleon movie with Joaquin Phoenix when it came out. Somebody get me a drink. I'm serious. So I watched that movie, and when I first came out of it, I'm not a history, like, nerd. Like, when I learn about history, I like it, but, like, I don't go out of my way to learn it, and I feel bad for that. I probably should. I want to learn, but I don't. I'm kind of, no, I'm gonna scroll on Instagram Reels. But, so I don't know any of the history, really, and so I just went into Napoleon blind. I'm like, yeah, sure. Some French dude. My minimal knowledge about Napoleon. And so coming out of that movie, I was like, oh, it was pretty good. Yeah, it was pretty good. Actually, I really liked it. I actually really liked that movie. And then at each day that went by, I kept thinking about it, and I was like, no, actually, I didn't like it that much. And then the next day, it was like, no, and I didn't like that part either. I honestly didn't like that aspect, and I feel like this could have been done better. And also, I thought that was unnecessary. Yeah, I just feel like, and then by, like, the end of, like 3 or 4 days later, I got to the point where I was like, that movie sucked. That was the worst movie I've ever seen. That was literally terrible. And wasn't it like a... it was directed by Ridley Scott, who makes some good movies, like Gladiator 2. Okay. Okay, hold on. Let me think about this. Yeah. Napoleon and then Gladiator 2. Yeah, I feel like Ridley Scott loves historical inaccuracies, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, actually. But Alien, hey, cooked with that. Cooked with that, you can't go wrong with Alien. Let's go. I was so mad at Napoleon, bro. What I loved about it was like the design. I thought the costuming was great. I thought like the sets were amazing. I was like, yes. Okay, opulence with a blue filter over it. The movie just felt so dull. And for some reason, in my mind, I was like, I'm going to blame Joaquin Phoenix. Why is every movie that Joaquin Phoenix is in, like, freaking sad and dull and gray? Must be his aura. What are we talking about? Yeah, it was a horror movie. And they just, like, shot a cannonball into the pyramids in Giza. Huh? I was watching that. Oh, hey, me who doesn't know history at all. I never learned about that. It's like, I don't really remember them shooting. I remember hearing about, like, anyone shooting into the side of the pyramids in Egypt. I don't really remember. Yeah, it didn't happen. It didn't happen, bro. And also Napoleon was, listen, I know he was a freak in real life, but also he was freaky with, what's her name? Josephine? And I've seen clips of like their letters back and forth to each other. That's horrible. They were writing that down on pen and paper. Pen and paper, they were writing to each other. It was mostly Napoleon. It was mostly him. He was being a freak. Yeah, what the heck was that? My main issue with it was that I feel like, okay, and it had come out, like, I think around the time, like, shortly after, maybe, like, the Elvis movie and then the Priscilla movie came out. And, I really liked how you got to see the career-focused, like, appraisal of Elvis movie, and then you saw like the behind closed doors, like different perspective, like relationship with Priscilla, like sort of side as a separate movie, even though, you know, it was different directors, different actors, whatever. I don't care. It was great. It was good. But in the Napoleon movie, they had Napoleon's story of like working his way to his position and like being this leader, and then kind of like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Like they had his like, you know, what he's known for. And then they also had Josephine, and it was all mixed together. And I get that because it's his life and it should be all together. I get that. But then it was like I wanted to see more of one thing and not the other. And I really honestly could have done without knowing about him and Josephine and what they did. I don't care. I don't care. And is that a little stupid of me? Yeah. I don't care, bro. I just want to see them riding on the horses, their cannonballs and their swords and whatever else they got. And, you know, I want to see that little guy just going. Just going. There were some aspects between him and Josephine that I was like, okay, that's interesting to know. But for the most part, I didn't really care. Yeah, that was pretty. That kind of sucked. Well, I've managed to talk about a lot of French people today. I talked about the Marquis, played by Bill Skarsgard in John Wick Chapter 4. I've talked about everyone in Phantom of the Opera, takes place in France. Gaston Leroux. Gaston Leroux. Yeah. Those are all French people, I think. Maybe I could be wrong. Carlotta, maybe not. I don't know. Stop asking me. I don't know. I said I didn't read the book. I watched the 2004 film a bajillion times. That's it. And then we talked about Napoleon. Yeah, I think that's going to be it for me. I think I'm done with that. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Savannah. I'm Savannah Dulce. I love French people. And this has been the subtext. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.